Happy Thanksgiving. Welcome in. It's a Friday edition. Philly Voice.
It's a Black Friday edition.
It is.
Man.
Well, here's the thing. It's like a Black Friday edition, if you will, right? And let me explain.
Okay.
Not only Harry Mays, Matt Cherico in the house here, is it a Black Friday because of all the specials that go on, right? Like everywhere, Target, Kohl's, what have you. I don't want to leave a place out. But it's also an extra black on top of that Friday because the Eagles are going to be fully blacked out from head to what probably might be toe, depending on who rocks the all black cleats. So that now makes it a Black Friday.
Oh, so they have black helmets coming Sunday night?
Have you not seen the hype video? We're probably getting pulled off YouTube for playing it. But yeah,
I have not seen it.
They've got this hype video out, and it shows the all black. I'll tell you what the coolest thing about the all black unis, and I don't know, Matt, if you saw it since I didn't see it from Harry Mays, but the captain's emblem is all gold. Black and gold are like peanut butter and jelly, right?
It's classy, very classy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the black uniforms for the Eagles. I never have been. It's not their color.
What's the record, though? Are they like shitty in the black uniform?
I'm not sure. But I just never really liked that dark midnight green with the black pants. Sometimes they wear those, and but whatever. I just hope that game goes under the total.
Is that okay? So let's do this. Let's look at Thanksgiving real quick. We'll bounce around. I gave you mine to start the show. Let's look at the really good, the really bad. By the way, anybody who took the under on that Lane Kiffin disaster, you got yourself sick. This guy wanted nothing to do but to get the hell out of that game last night.
Well, he says he's coming back.
I know, but Harry, he went for it up. They were up 2 points. And he went for it on a fourth down where, unless the kicker had the measles, I don't know what you're doing.
Must have been analytics.
You're right. It probably was analytics. Although college, yeah, exactly. So
whenever there's something that I can't explain with sports, it's analytics.
You know what though? Football, you probably have like an 80% chance of it being not only analytics, but the reason why it failed as well, right? Analytics in football, for some reason, just doesn't add up. Exactly. All right, let's look at this. The good, Cherico, why don't you start, right? Harry, and I'll end up because you guys know where I am at least. The really, what stood out for you, the best and the worst from Thanksgiving on the betting slate?
Go ahead.
Honestly, the Detroit Lions are increasingly impressive by the week. I mean, we talked about how they had won 3 in a row last episode, and then they come out and they're competing with a team like the Bills. I mean, I know Harry had mentioned that he had taken the plus 9.5, and I was all over that to start the game. It actually had increased on the first drive to plus 12.5. So I hopped in there as well to double down. And then once they had scored, went up 7-0, you see it go down to 5.5. So I think the tale of the Detroit Lions is really interesting. Dan Campbell does have everybody really excited over there, and a competitive Thanksgiving game, I think, will leave them, a good couple weeks afterwards.
Yeah, same with me. I was impressed with Detroit. I was so tempted to take them on the money line yesterday, and now I'm so glad I didn't because they missed that field goal, and I really thought they should have won the game.
You're in a dome. How do you miss?
I know.
Exactly. But I teased all the favorites down, and it ends up I only needed to take Dallas down. So, it ended up being a nice little tease. But, good for Detroit to show up at least for Thanksgiving and make a competitive game out of Buffalo. And I like what's going on up there. I'm starting to root for Dan Campbell. Part of me just wants to see the guys succeed.
I have been on the complete opposite end of it. And it's not just because you and I, some contrarian, Skip and Shannon thing. I've genuinely just been off him. And
you refuse him.
Yeah, I do. I do. That's a great way to put it. I refuse him.
That's your word. I mean, that's your term.
It is.
Yeah.
And although I did hear Ant use that one time, and I was like, oh man, that's like
it's gold.
Exactly.
It's gold.
I'm on board. I'm on board.
Yeah.
There's something about it where
there's an infectious nature to what's going on with him and that team. I hate Jared Goff. I can't stand him. Okay. I refuse him.
Yeah.
But I like Dan Campbell, and I'm starting to root for the team.
So he's got you rooting for a guy that you normally would refuse.
Right.
Okay.
In Goff. Yeah.
Wow. Exactly. I think there's something to that. All right. All right. Look, for me, it was the Giants. the only thing that really didn't hit in that game was a small sprinkle on the money line, but took them at 10.5. The first half plays out, and then the Richie James touchdown to cover the game at the end. Patriots was weird. Just looking at that Hunter Henry catch, and here's what I was amazed at. Yeah, I got burned on it, but 2 calls arguably went against the Patriots in a prime time-esque game. And I don't know when the last time that's happened, where it's like something shady went down and it didn't benefit the Patriots in either of the 2. But
that's interesting. But you're starting to see this NFC take shape now, as a result of yesterday. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys with that 2-pronged rushing attack with Pollard and Zeke, it's real. They're starting to become a force. And Minnesota, is going to lock down that north before you know it. And now San Francisco, the Eagles and San Francisco have to win this week to keep pace in the NFC, because those are the 4 teams that are really going to emerge.
It's great point. And that can bring us into this Eagles game as a whole, because there is something about motivation and adding a little bit extra incentive, if you will, knowing that it's not just the fans or what have you to disappoint. So, Harry, let's start with what you said, because I don't know, Matt, where you are on this game, and I have a couple of leans myself, but you like the under, right?
Yeah. The last 8 times these 2 teams have played, it's gone under the total, and I'm going to stick with that trend. I think there's going to be a lot of running in this game on Sunday night. Both teams, if the Eagles want to run, they can run if they choose to stick with it. And Green Bay is going to want to run because I think they're going to want to keep Philadelphia off the field as much as possible on the road. So I love the under 46 right now.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a little bit of a grittier game. I think Aaron Rodgers is kind of wasted the last kind of talent that he has in these past few weeks to Christian Watson. I mean, we're going to see the Eagles dial in on him, and I just don't think there's any way that he sees a touchdown, 2 touchdowns the way he has the past couple weeks. I really like, if we're going to go for a run game type of style, I like A.J. Dillon to put one in this scenario. At plus 110, I think he's the grittier of the 2 running backs. And when you're playing kind of a hard-nosed football game, he's probably the guy that Green Bay is going to lean towards over Aaron Jones.
Well, he's from the Northeast. The kid went to Boston College, didn't he?
There we
so
go.
He goes back to the Northeast. He's going to get his grit.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Maybe he's gone too long. Is that it? Or I don't know.
He's lost touch with his roots.
Yeah, I don't think you ever lose your grit.
No,
you either have it or you don't.
Okay,
sure. It's a Mamba mentality type of thing.
Exactly.
Okay. Look, I don't mind that. Plus money for both guys to throw a pick. 110 for Hurts, 120, not together, of course, individually.
Right.
110 for Hurts, 125 for Rodgers. I think that's definitely something that I would look at as far as just trying to get both of these guys. Look, I think the Eagles offense, for whatever reason, is tight, and Jalen Hurts is probably going to play like an 85% complete game, and that 15% or so could be an interception. Aaron Rodgers is going to be pressured. Like the Eagles now have the rotation up front. Aaron Rodgers, there's going to be a lot of bodies around and in Aaron Rodgers' face. You have a couple of ball hawks back there, right? Slade, Bradbury, etc. I know they're banged up a little bit in the secondary, but those would be the first 2. And here's another one, real quick. I think what we've seen so far, even mind you, in those games where the Eagles had these historic second quarters, if you wanted to put a half a unit on the Green Bay Packers to win a 2-way, meaning tie, no bet, first quarter money line, you can get that at plus 175 on DK. I don't hate that.
I'm looking right now, first half Eagles spread, and I'm finding it at minus 3.5, and I kind of like that one, just going over first half wise. I also, honestly, the 6.5, the Green Bay defense just really stinks to me. And this secondary, I know they have Jair Alexander, and that's a cool name to have in your secondary, but he's really been lackluster so far this year. And I mean, we've seen guys like Justin Jefferson, when he gets sized up receivers against him, he can't handle that type of workload. And I mean, between Devontae, obviously AJ Brown, Kez Watkins is getting involved. I think they're just too fast. They got too many Batmans on that side. So I think the Eagles are going to take advantage of that. And I like the spread, honestly, both ways.
I like the Eagles with the 6.5. It went to 7 the other day. Now it's back down to 6.5. Right. I just saw, but I'm also going to put this Eagles game in a teaser with another NFC East team that plays earlier in the day.
And that would be
the Washington football team.
Now you're going to tease the other side, Atlanta?
No, I'm going to actually take it through 0.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to violate some people's rules.
Fine.
I'm going to take Washington to +2 and the Eagles down to 0.5 point.
Okay, so this is interesting. So you've got Washington at +2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I cashed Washington out at -4 and took Atlanta +4.5. So what would be crazy is if somehow Atlanta won the game by like a point.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's basically the middle that we have here.
Yeah.
Or Washington wins by 4. Like Washington wins, you're good. You're golden.
Right.
Washington wins up to 4, I'm good. So I'm with you. It wasn't even that I thought Atlanta would win. It's just that they've been so good covering the spread, even when they lose, that at 4.5, it was hard and it dropped right back to 4. So that was the only thinking.
And we're getting a little Ron Rivera home action right now. So I don't know. I don't know how much I trust him in that case. So you could see that Atlanta coming through. But they did lose their lead blocker, Kyle Pitts.
Yeah. That's really lead blocker.
That is
Washington's got the better defense too.
They do.
They really do.
Correct.
Are there any? I didn't see any time touchdown numbers. Are they out for the Eagles game yet? Because I'm thinking of maybe taking a moonshot on Stoll.
Yeah. So I thought I just saw. Well, no, they would be.
Oh, I got them right here. Plus 550 on FanDuel for
plus 550 for any time touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a bad call, man.
I take that.
Honestly, if you're going to do that, you might as well put, like, if you're going to put $25, I'm just saying hypothetically, let's say you put $25 on Jack Stahl to score at plus 550.
Mm-hmm.
I think at that point you have to take $10 and put him to score 2. It's plus 8,000.
There's the moonshot.
Well, we can't legally say that. I think he's got that.
No, I'm sorry.
No. I'm just joking. He's a friend of the show. So.
Yeah, it's an homage.
It is. It is. Jack Stoll, 25 to win $137.50 is an anytime. Jack Stoll, 2+, $10 to win 800. Come on.
I like this 2+ idea. I'm starting to come around. I know. It's just a.
Maybe you want to put $5 on it, right?
Give me another rung.
Look, I tell you, you just like Zach Pascal was another one there when everybody was hurt, but now, he's kind of back. Tyree Jackson, is there a shot that he gets enough look? He's plus 9,000. Probably not, right?
Sammy Watkins plus 5,000 as well.
He doesn't get a lot of snaps.
Sammy.
No, the other tight end.
Tyree, he's like a playing tight end, right?
Yeah. And, he came on, I think, a week or so ago and committed a penalty. Wasn't he down an illegal man downfield or something, or some stupid, maybe a holding penalty? And I don't think he saw the field after that.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, that's why I don't want to play Sky Moore props, even when everybody's banged up. It's all three. We know Andy Reid. This is a rookie. If he screws up if he muffs a punt or misses something, he's sitting. Like Andy Reid would spite him no matter what's going on in the game.
Yeah. They're going to smoke the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, Stafford's not even playing. All right, let's do this. Let's bounce around here and start any college, and then we'll move to the NFL as we wind down.
All right.
Start any college.
I might start it out with today. There's a noon game going on in Cincinnati that is a big game in the American Athletic Conference. And I think the line opened at Tulane getting 2. It's now down to 1. I'm taking the Tulane Green Wave on the money line to win the game outright on the road against the Cincinnati Bearcats.
Is that right?
Yeah. It's a nooner. The weather's going to be fine. Low 50s, no rain. Nothing on the total. It's 44.5, which is pretty low.
Yeah, I thought that would be now it's an early start, so I don't know if that's going to play into it, but I like the over on that. But wow, you're taking Tulane.
Taking Tulane.
It's at 3?
No, it's at 1.
Oh man,
it came from 2 to 1, so I'm going to take them on the money line.
I was going to say the money line at plus 100 too. You could find out there. I like it.
You're a good squad. Both teams have lost to UCF.
I don't hate it, huh?
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
I got
Green Wave.
I got one on another Florida team. I'm taking FSU today to cover the 9.5 against Florida. I don't know. I think their offense is so potent, and against Syracuse, they just absolutely tore them to pieces. So I think 9.5 might be a little bit of a low number. I feel like they could cover a double-digit spread against a somewhat of a smaller program in Florida.
Wow.
Wait, so what's the double? I'm sorry. What was the double-digit spread?
9.5.
Okay.
For Florida State to cover against the Gators.
Wow.
Dissing the SEC Gators.
Sorry. I know they got that. They got a little excitement. They have the spark somewhat, but I think Florida State is ultimately just too talented. And I think on the defensive side, especially up front, they have so much size that I just don't think the Gators are going to be able to hang.
Big recruiting battle in that game.
It is. It is the Battle of Florida.
Yeah. For a lot of talent.
That's something too, right? Where it's crazy, but you guys know, like that's a really big motivating factor.
It is.
Game where you may, especially if you're not making it to the national championship, right? Like
no, but if you're Florida State's coaching staff and you win that game, with authority, you can go into your recruiting battle and say, look, we're close in the ACC. We could get into the championship, whereas Florida is a long way away, from competing for a Final Four spot, if you will. So
I'm with you, brother. I want to get your thoughts on this. Last week, and we rode them at home. They are really strong at home. On the road now, ending at Mizzou.
Arkansas.
Actually like Mizzou. I can get Mizzou at +4 all the way over at Unibet, and I am locking it in as we speak.
I like that too. Yep.
I like that. All right, let's hit the NFL on the way out.
Well, first of all, though, our Ohio State -7.5 is now up to 8.
Oh, beautiful.
I knew that was going to happen.
Thank you for reminding me.
We're on the Buckeyes at -7.5. And I'm going to take the Beavers in the Civil War at +3 against Oregon. They're a home dog. They're a tough little squad, and they always show up for this game.
The Beavs.
The Beavs.
I like it.
Well, who's the most famous? Is it June? No, that's the Beaver.
Yeah.
All right. NFL. Cherico, why don't you start here? We'll go around the horn on the way out.
All right. I'm looking right now. 1:00 game. The Bears and the Jets. We just saw Zach Wilson get benched for not taking accountability over the last week's loss. So I think Bears +6 right now sounds a little appetizing. Justin Fields has been rolling. He's hit his over in rushing yards for a month straight now. And I expect him to run all over the Jets, honestly. They like to keep a lot of pressure up front, and I think he's going to be running away from Quinnen Williams a lot. And I think that could result in some success, being that the Jets' offense is so stinky as of late. I mean, Breece Hall was really kind of, you see now, the propelling factor, the X factor of that offense. And I think they're going to be a little confused now throwing Mike White out there. So
you're out on Mike White.
If it was Joe Flacco, you might have sold me, but Mike White, I can't go for it. So I'm going to be taking Bears +6.
Well, Saleh really, was threatened with losing his locker room if he didn't make the change. Yep. So that's totally what this is about. This is not an endorsement in any way of Mike White and his ability to lead this team. It's about, I don't want to lose the other guys in the locker room. So
that is true.
Yeah. I don't have another one in the NFL right now, but I forgot that I have the Notre Dame Fighting Irish at +5.5 against USC. I think that line is low, and I think there's a reason for that. Notre Dame, this is a huge game for them.
I love that.
And I'm taking the Irish.
That's a fantastic call. Notre Dame has been, especially at the start of the season, the average bettor may look, I remember they got their ass
they're
kicked.
Coming on.
They are. And this is an opportunity to catch a team sleeping like that. I don't know why. And look, I get it. Like, it's a key number, but that doesn't mean that the spread should reflect that. Does anybody have any idea why Baltimore is only laying 3.5 at Jacksonville?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mark Andrews, maybe.
Mark Andrews is going to move the line. What, 2 points?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
I will readily admit that I took the bait and fell for the trap on Monday's show, but I'm taking Baltimore minus 3.5. Absolutely. Have no problem with that. The other one I liked was under 43 in the Browns game. This is another one here where I think that there's an opportunity for lower scoring more so than anything else. And I want to be a part of that when it does go down. That's all.
Yeah.
Like the Browns will grind you down, and the Bucks aren't putting up 30 anymore on teams.
Right.
Yeah.
I see it at 42.5.
Oh, I see 42.5 as well.
Yeah.
So this is on the 23rd. I got in at 43. All right. So look, half a point. That's fine.
All right.
But look, again, Leo, we talked about this in Chicago, in Cleveland, November, December, January. Just play the under. Now, it has to be slow.
Yep.
Yeah. Because if this opened up at 38, maybe you don't slam the under, but it just makes sense.
No, and this is the last week of Jacoby Brissett too, so I don't think he's going to come out guns firing. I mean,
yep,
I like it.
Anything
like
in the NBA here? Any
NBA
tonight for me?
No.
And it's just and Matt has hinted at the. Well, actually, Matt has said this explicitly, which is, no, you know what I did? I locked the Sixers in +4. It's dropped to +3.5. It's probably going to tilt on down to 3. That's the only thing I have. This is a game where, I mean, come on, you should be able. You are the rich man's version of the Orlando Magic when you're down to this team, like a really strong bench. There's no reason why you shouldn't win this game outright. That's it.
No, I like it. I mean, the NBA, it's just been so tough. It's so inconsistent. I mean, one thing and a matchup that's really interesting me right now, and I'm not sure if I'm going to bet on it as of yet, is the Sacramento Kings and the Boston Celtics. Sacramento Kings, they're the #1 ranked offense in the league so far. Yeah. And right now they got Red Velvet, Kevin Huerter, just flamethrowing from deep. So them going up against the #1 ranked defense is going to be really interesting to me. The line is sitting at 237 right now. So I think there might be a slight lean towards the under, just because that's 237.5 seems like so much to me. And in Boston at TD Garden, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a slower paced game, kind of grit and grind style, more than just banging out 3-pointers. So I like the under in that, but otherwise it's been so volatile. I don't know if I want to consistently give out just some of these games. I don't know.
Sixers fans are still having Hoarder nightmares.
Yeah.
From the playoffs.
He's the Joe Juravicius of the NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see you on Monday. Hope you had a great turkey day. Hope you ate and are still stuffed to the gills. A lot of money to be made, so we appreciate you rolling with us. Thumbs up, subscribe on the way out. For Harry Mays, Matt Cherico, I'm Eitan Shannon.